What's up YouTube, it's Heretic here, and I'm back with a double deck profile for you guys featuring my favorite evolution in its newly released EX form, Jolteon-EX. So, anyway, we're going to be looking at an expanded deck that runs pretty much completely around Jolteon-EX, and then a standard deck that runs around Jolteon-EX and M Manectric-EX. So we'll start with the expanded list, and so we're going to start with 4 Jolteon-EX. And this is our featured attacker, of course. Jolteon-EX for 1 lightning, does 30 damage unaffected by weakness, resistance, or any other effects. However, the big deal here is the second attack, Flash Ray, for 1 lightning and 2 colorless, does 70 and prevents all damage done to Jolteon-EX by attacks during your opponent's next turn. So it kind of makes it like Pyroar, except just in an attack, kind of like, you know, Regice style instead of Safeguard. Of course, we saw Pyroar did very well in actually placed 2nd seed going into day 2 in one of the week 3 regionals, so some promise there. So what to pair with Jolteon, I guess, is the next big thing, and since he prevents all damage done to him by basics, we'll rekindle an old idea that was played with Pyroar and now still sees a lot of play with like Yveltal and even, I guess, Rogue Knight Marchers, like Andrew Mahone. And expanded, and that's Archeops. His ability prevents either player from playing any cards from their hand to evolve their Pokemon, any evolution cards from their hand. So use Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick to bring him out, and then use Jolteon's Flash Ray to prevent all basic Pokemon from touching it. So since we're running the Maxie's engine, we also have Gallade. Jolteon's second attack cost is 1 lightning, 2 colorless, so we have double colorless compatibility there. So we can also use Sensitive Blade in the same manner. Can hit for 60, plus if we played a supporter that turn, which is going to be most turns, then goes up to all the way to 130. Fantastic in the mirror match. He can hit Jolteon because he's a stage 2, even though we didn't have to play an evolution to get him out. And so also great against like Mega Manectric, Darkrai, anything like that, and can easily take out Shamans as well. However, as I just pointed out, he is great against the mirror match and Jolteon himself, so we need a counter. So 1 Mewtwo-EX, once again double colorless compatible, an old favorite of course, and Mewtwo will just double colorless here, and if you're staring down a Gallade and they've got a double colorless, then you've got a knockout right there based on Gallade's weakness to Psychic. Otherwise, just a good old-fashioned piece of muscle, never hurts to have it, just really good card. Next we play a Shaymin-EX to draw a few extra cards, and then we play 2 Jirachi-EXs because we do run the Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick engine. So, trying to get that on turn 1 as often as possible. We definitely want to be able to maximize those odds, and Jirachi will help us do that. So supporters, we got 2 Professor Sycamores. We don't play more than that because we play the Maxie engine. 2 Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick to get Archeops or Gallade, usually Archeops first, but whichever one that the given matchup calls for into play. And we've got 1 Lysander, 1 Getsis, and 1 N. Now, Getsis in particular, very good against Vespiquen, Flareon to keep them from going off on the first turn, and also Archeops to keep them from evolving, just really, really good. So just to kind of keep that at bay. We also run 2 Silent Labs, which can help out in that matchup, taking away like unknowns, their Shamans potentially. Can work against Blastoise, taking away Blastoise's ability to go off by limiting your opponent's Jirachis, and their Keldeo's ability to rush in. Although in that matchup, usually Blastoise itself is the only thing that will be able to attack you. This is also key because Silent Lab will shut down Wobbuffet and maintain the abilities of Archeops, which is a big deal when you go up against the Vespiquen deck if they were to put a Wobbuffet up front in order to be able to pull a Maxie off. Next we have 4 VS Seekers to get our supporters back because, well, why wouldn't you play VS Seeker? That's just pretty standard, I think, in all decks, actually. 4 Compressors, pretty much a must in Maxie's and Archie's decks. Get these guys in the discard pile right away and just kind of work from there for the first turn play. 4 puzzle at a time. Really good card again in Maxie's and Archie's decks, being able to reuse stuff early game or something we maybe had to throw away early that we might want back late game. Also, if you have just one in hand, you can easily burn it and just rearrange the top 3 cards, whether or not it's relevant. Just really good. 4 Trainer's Meals to reach for stuff first turn to get that first turn Archeops. 4 Ultra Balls, kind of the same concept, also lets us drain our hand size. 4 Max Elixirs, again, drains our hand, we can fail it if needed, but mainly just to get an extra energy onto Jolteon or even Mewtwo if you need it. Also helps us get Jolteon's Flash Ray attack charged up in 1 turn. And then we play 1 Super Rod to recover lost energy cards and the such. And we play Computer Search because that's the ace spec of choice, and pretty much play that in every Maxie and Archie deck. Computer Search for Compressor first turn or for an Ultra Ball and just drain 4 cards out of your hand just like that. 2 Float Stones because Archeops, Gallade, Mewtwo all have fat retreat cost of 2, and we don't want those to get stuck there. So it's either that or we could play an AZ, I guess, if you want. Got 2 Muscle Bands to allow Jolteon to hit 90 2-shot EXs, 1-shot ones that are weak against lightning. Pretty useful. We have 4 double colorless energies because we have so much synergy with double colorless amongst the attacks of Jolteon, Mewtwo, and Gallade, and even Shaman. And then to close off the deck, we were going to play 3, 5, 7 basic lightning energies. And so it's enough for Max Elixir, especially with Super Rod, and but not too many so that it clogs your hand down, especially when you're trying to get Maxie on turn 1. So anyway, that's Jolteon Archeops, and also look at the Mega Manectric standard version. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Mega Manectric Jolteon-EX standard format deck. And this is a deck you could play for states. It's just kind of a rough outline as to what this deck would look like in my testing at least. So 4 Manectric-EXs to start. Basic version of our main accelerator and I guess primary attacker, so obviously we got to play 4 copies of him. And then we play 3 Mega Manectrics. Turbo Bolt, 1 lightning, 1 colorless, 110 damage, and accelerate. Attach 2 basic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. That's going to be lightning energy, obviously, in this case, as we have a pure lightning variant. And then we play 2 Jolteon-EX. Again, Flash Ray, really the big deal here. Prevents him from being touched by basic Pokemon during your opponent's next turn in terms of damage. And this is also interesting to note because both Jolteon-EX and Mega Manectric-EX both have 0 retreat cost, so kind of fun stuff there. We also play 1 Raikou. Non-EX attacker, can potentially do 110 plus a lot more, has a nice little defensive ability when it has a lightning energy, minus 20 damage. We'll find ways to take advantage of that for sure. So really, really good. Tell you right now, this deck has an amazing Eviltal matchup if you guys haven't figured that out yet. And then we will figure out a way to deal with Gallade as well. Got 1 Hoopa EX to set up, search out our Manectrics, our Jolteon, etc., etc., and then also 2 Shaman EX for more draw power. Supporters, 4 Professor Sycamore, since we're not running Maxies this time, just kind of go ham with that. Got 2 Lysanders and 1 Judge. And that is actually the extent of our supporter line. Really don't need too much. So we are going to be running battle compressors, so we don't need to play bad draw supporters like Professor Birch, which it hurts my soul to play that card. So we got 2 Rough Seas for our stadiums, and then 1 Silent Lab. Originally, I was debating if I just wanted to go all Rough Seas or all Silent Lab, but I feel like the split in this case is a little bit better since Raikou and Mega Manectric can both tank for a bit of damage, kind of absorb it, be like a big sponge. And then Rough Seas being able to heal it, especially if you retreat, being able to heal over multiple turns with Rough Seas. But I still think the 1 Silent Lab is just too good not to play against anything else that you might hit that runs off of Hoopa or Shaman, or just anything else with basic Pokemon abilities like that. Can also take out something like Giratina, which could be a thorn in your side, potentially. Really just depending on how the matchup unfolds. And then we do play 4 VS Seekers, of course, to get our supporters back. We got 4 battle compressors. Again, really just ditch supporters and VS Seeker for them because I tend to favor that more than running just like I said, the bad draw supporters. And then also just discarding energies and such so that you can Mega Manectric Turbo Bolt for them. We also play 4 Trainer's Mails. Just, again, really good card, and especially in Mega Manectric where you really need to be able to reach for stuff. Also helps out with the lower supporter count and the compressors of VS Seekers and all that stuff. 4 Ultra Ball. Maximize turn 1 Hoopa plays. Also just get whatever you need. We got 2 switches. Because sometimes people will be assholes and Lysander up Hoopa and he has double retreat. And sometimes we can't even afford to pay the single retreat on Shaman or maybe Raikou or a basic Manectric. So it is just kind of there for more emergency situations, but definitely helpful. And we got 2 Max Potions. Welcome back to Standard, buddy. So Mega Manectric can definitely take advantage of Max Potion. Being able to just Max Potion off and then re-accelerate with another Mega Manectric just seems really good. 2 Max Elixirs. With 4 compressors in here, we probably could change those to Mega Turbo. The only reason I stuck with Max Elixir in this particular list right now is because it can also accelerate to things other than a Mega Manectric. You get like a turn 1 Assault Laser going, stuff like that. You know, it gets you a little quicker charge up on like a Raikou or a Jolteon as well. Just really more for that instance than anything else. And then we do play 1 Super out as well to put our Pokemon and energies back. Primarily our Pokemon, I think, since Mega Manectric just accelerates energy out of the discard. We play 3 Spirit Links, so we play 3 Megas, and 2 Assault Vests. You could probably make the case that we should be running the Fighting Fury Belt instead of this. I don't know, I kind of like Assault Vest. Because when they hit you multiple times, you know, it's still going to reduce by 40 every time. I realize that there are definitely pros and cons to each, and you could really go with either one. Right now, I still like Assault Vest in this deck, though, when you combine it with Rough Seas and all that stuff. 2 Flash Energies, because Gallade exists, and some people might play Lucario, I don't know. Just stuff like that. So we gotta have a way to deal with fighting types. Our dreaded weakness. And then, finally, we play 8 Basic Lightning. A little more than we played in the other deck, reason being that just, again, being able to consistently hit it off Compressor and still manage to hit it with Max Elixir, you know. So we up the count a little bit. It might seem like a little too much energy, you might be able to drop 1 or 2. I think the Flash Energies are just really important, mainly to deal with Gallade, though, since otherwise our Yveltal matchup is so awesome, but if that Gallade comes out, it's going to be a pain, because we really don't have a way to one-shot it unless you can get a Raikou up to 5 energies. And if you start to get close to that, that just becomes a giant Lysander target, and you've probably given up at least 2 prizes, if not more, in the process. So, anyway, that is Mega Manectric Raikou and Mega Manectric Jolteon with Raikou. So this is the standard format use of Jolteon-EX, at least in my opinion. It's probably the most effective way to use it. You could also play Rainbow Energy Aromatisse deck with Jolteon-EX. It would be pretty fun. I've been kind of toying around with that idea. But it's just such a good card, and I really want to I really just want to show people that, and that how powerful this card could be, and also to kind of keep people's eye out for it, because it is such a good counter to Night March. And so those Night March decks don't have a way to either, you know, a way to deal with Jolteon. It can really be a thorn in your side, especially if you open with it and can manage to get that attack going and not have a bunch of other stuff on your bench. It can really be tough for a Night March player to deal with. But in any case, that is our standard list, and then of course you've seen the expanded list. So that is Jolteon-EX for you guys. That's a heck of a card, and I look forward to it. I look forward to playing it and seeing how other people play it. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and let me know if you want me to zero in on a card like that next time and try to do expanded and standard lists. Also, if you guys have suggestions, if you want to write them down below, feel free. If you don't want to, that's fine. My feelings won't be hurt. Anyway, I just thought I'd share this with you guys. So yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. I will be at Michigan, Indiana, and Kentucky States this year. Cheers.